Hello.
Hey,
Hey you. How you doing?
I'm feeling great.
What's going The twins are here, ladies and gents. Hello.
Good to see you, Mona.
Nice to see
Looking
you
funny
too.
as usual. Just kidding. You're
Looking
looking good.
funny? Oh, as usual, man. This is the default funny look. That's what I go for. Oh my God.
What's
It's like
up? What's up?
living in like two different universes. Aaron is just like, I barely woke up, and Austin's like, I've been up since 4. So
I'm
How much
ready.
earlier could we schedule this, Mona? It's 6 a.m.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I not early enough. That's the real deal. Guys, we are recording right now, just so you know, but it's fine. We're gonna do like an official beginning and then so yeah, we'll just keep it fun. We'll just talk about your upcoming roles. We'll talk about your upbringing and stuff and acting and how you got into Altcoin Daily and all that. So we'll keep it light. We've never done this with you guys. So you interviewed me the last time, Austin. So this
We're
time,
an open book. We're an open book. Ask us anything.
okay, we'll see about that. We'll see about that. I got some dark secrets. No, I'm just kidding.
I knew you
Uh,
had some dark questions.
some dark secrets. All right, guys. Well, welcome to Web3's joke. I'm so excited to have two of my favorite people that I've come across in the Web3 space. We got the famous Austin and Aaron Arnold here of Altcoin Daily. How are you guys doing today?
Excellent. Thank you for having us, Mona.
Yeah, this is so exciting. I'm first of all, I love the fact that I've been like watching you guys for a while, and then we both happened to be at like the same Hollywood Hills party that was last year, 2023. And then I walked up to you guys, and I forget it was Aaron or Austin. I think it was you, Austin. And I was like, "Oh, you guys are Altcoin Daily," and you're like, "Yeah, you know
I have a
us."
girlfriend. I have a girlfriend, I said.
I know, no, Aaron, I wasn't. I was going for Austin, anyways. But thank you, though. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to let you down there. Didn't mean to let you. And it's so funny. And Austin, I remember you saying to me, "Oh, you're like, you know who we are," and I was like, "Yeah, I know who you guys are. Of course, I know who you guys are." I want to talk to you guys about how how is it now? You guys were born and raised in Ohio, correct?
Hell
That's
yeah.
right.
Where in Ohio?
Cleveland, Ohio is the biggest, city usually where we tell people out in LA, but really like Northeast Ohio, Chardon, Ohio, we had like woods in our backyard, kind of like suburbs country, but near a big city.
Got it. And so, you guys growing up, was like acting a thing that you guys always thought about, or was that like later in your years as you guys became teenagers, you were like, you know what? We're like two good-looking tall dudes. We deserve a shot at the silver screen.
I'll answer for me that Aaron and we had a ton of different interests growing up. We were in many different like after school activities, but in high school, joined the school play, had a blast doing it, had so much fun. And when we went to college, decided to major in one, acting, theater performance, and two, business marketing. We did drop that business marketing down to a minor at the very last second to get out of there in 4 years. But yeah, we've always loved that.
Got
And
it. Yeah.
Austin, you're coming in loud and clear, but is it the right mic? Is
Oh,
it,
it's
like,
not. It's
yeah.
not.
Oh.
Let's give Mona our best.
Thank you. Thank you. We can start again if we need to.
I appreciate that. We can it's fine, man. We can keep it rolling. Like this is casual. I'm not we want people to feel, like they're at home, like they know us. That's the feeling I'm going
Aaron
for.
and I interview people all the time, and quality lighting and quality audio is always super important to us. So if we need to restart, totally get it. But if not, I'm back at
Agree.
it.
Honestly, on my end, I could hear you just fine. So maybe on
Okay.
Aaron's end, maybe it was a thing, but I can
You
hear
can
you.
hear how much crystal clear it is right now, even though we could hear before.
Oh,
Testing,
interesting. All right.
testing.
Wow. I love how you guys are like so specific, so sensitive to that. I love that. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you for raising the bar for me this morning. I appreciate that. Aaron, were you always like the creative type too? Because sorry, it's always the thing, right? Whenever you think about people who go in the arts, like acting or comedy, you always think in terms of there's always like a history, like I had a bit of a rough childhood. My dad took me out back in the woods and beat the crap out of me with a 2x4. So, but
You're
you guys don't come across that way to me at all. So, Aaron, what was your thing?
you're reading my bio, I thought. No. Um, Yeah, I mean, we were always encouraged to, in elementary school, be leaders. If there's a volunteer position, oh yeah, volunteer for that. Or if there's a little second grade school play, oh yeah, be a part of that. Or if you have a chance to speak, do that. And so often when we were little kids, we were doing creative and forward-facing things. We weren't in the background.
Yeah.
And then I guess, in high school, we started doing the school plays, and the rest is history. Moved out to Los Angeles to pursue acting full time, did book a bunch of stuff, then fell into crypto, and it's been great.
And okay, so you guys are out here in Los Angeles for what, like 5 years, 10 years, and then you like started to decide altcoin daily. So like what is that journey for you? So like what is it, 2017, 2018 you guys start to transition? Like what happens for you guys that makes you go, "Oh, this would be a really good thing to do?"
It was in like the very late 2016, throughout 2017, I started dabbling in cryptocurrency. So just like trading it, not full time or anything. And at that time, I was 27 years old. Me and my, ex-girlfriend had just broken up. So all of a sudden I had a lot of free time on my hands, and I felt the need. I was like, I need to like, be doing something else with my life. I want something else going on. So I thought, oh, maybe I can trade crypto. And then, throughout 2017, I started getting more and more into it. And I didn't realize this at the time, but it was near the top of the market in 2017. And that's around when I discovered crypto YouTube. So these guys were getting crazy amount of views for the time. We get much more now. But for the time, they were getting crazy amount of views. And I didn't realize it was the top of the market. But for what they were doing, and some of them were really good. A lot of those people who were around back then were good, still around today. But a lot of those people at the time were subpar content, in my opinion. I thought there could be a more valuable YouTube channel that's more entertaining, that provides more value. And so that's in the very beginning of 2018, started Altcoin Daily, went full time. Maybe the worst time ever to start a cryptocurrency YouTube channel, because the deep bear market, multi-year bear market was just beginning. And then a little bit later, within 6 months, 7, 8 months, I brought Austin on, and the
Yeah.
rest is history.
So you were doing the altcoin daily in the beginning by yourself.
It was difficult because a daily video by yourself, it was hard. So,
It's a lot
I,
of
I remember when we hit 1,000 subscribers, is because I didn't tell anybody at the beginning. And then when I hit 1,000 subscribers, I finally told, my parents and Austin at the same time for like a Sunday dinner, and said, guys, I've been doing this crypto thing, have 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. And Austin immediately goes, how many did you pay for? And
Exactly. Seemed
I go,
unbelievable.
wow, wow.
but I said you can come and do it with me if you want, and shortly after that he said, interesting, yeah, let me be a part of this with you.
So Austin, I guess when he started back in 2018, what were you doing at the time? Like, did you have a girlfriend so you didn't have a lot of time on your hands? Is that what happened with you?
Ooh, back then, I'm sure I did, but not quite as much a part of my origin story as Aaron's. But I was, we acting small bit parts and roles on a Lifetime twin thriller movie. I was a personal trainer.
Tosh.0, Insecure.
That's true. That's true. Many things, many things. A personal trainer as my day job, and then just started to dive right into crypto from an average person's point of view, figuring like, hey, if this is for everybody, I could figure it out.
Right, right. And of course, as actors, a lot of people who don't live in LA or are not in the industry don't understand, like, we need that flexibility, because if you have an audition, you got to, like, at a drop of a hat, you got to drop everything, you got to go do your audition. So that's why being a personal trainer, that's more feasible for you. So you're doing personal training, and Aaron, what are you doing at the time? Like, you're just running the YouTube channel?
No, at my survival job when I was an actor was a bartender in Beverly Hills.
Oh.
So if you clip this out and a bartender's watching at the event, hey, tip your bartender and send me a drink.
I will do that. We have several drinks for you. Don't worry. We have several drinks. I think what I love, well, one of my favorite things about you guys is that, I discovered you by accident, and like I just loved your channel right away. And I think what I love about it is the fact that you guys have this very, I don't know if you get this, but you guys have like this very kind of neutral tone in the way you deliver your content. So it's not like It's not like you're like trying to shill something, or you're not like, hey, we're taking part in anything. You're just like, hey, this is what's happening and this is what we're sharing. Like, this is I feel like maybe Austin has a little bit more of an opinion sometimes than Aaron does. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think that our more neutral tone, in my opinion, is a reaction to the type of content creators that were around in 2017, 2016, 2018, because they were very shilly and very in your face.
Yes,
And,
yes.
sometimes when it fits, that's totally cool. But, I wanted to make content that I would want to share with my friends. And so I figured there'd be other people that want to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Aaron, when you started this, did you ever think it was gonna like blow up to be what it is today? I mean, you guys had what, like over 1.5 million followers on YouTube and 1.3 on Twitter, right? 1.3 mil.
What is
I'd
this,
reverse that.
2023? It's X now.
It's X now, sorry. Excuse me. Sorry about
But yeah,
that.
we have about 1.5 on each, give or take, growing every day.
Yeah.
Did I ever think it would be where it is today? I mean, I back then I wanted to get like 100,000 subscribers because that was kind of like the cap, the ceiling of the crypto YouTubers at the time, around there. And I always, that was always the goal since I saw somebody else doing that. I knew that was possible.
Yeah.
To get to 1 million, I in my wildest dreams, I was like, as we were getting closer to 1 million, in 2021. I mean, for a while, we were the #1 crypto YouTube channel in the world. And we've always maintained, a top 3 position. Right now, #1 in America. But there are tons of great crypto content creators now. Never thought that, I always wanted to be successful. I always, the vision was this, but did I ever think, oh, one day I'll have 1,000,005 subscribers and actually 1 million subscribers within 3 years?
Yeah.
No, I never thought of it, but never strayed away from it. Always leaned into it.
I love that. I mean, I feel like the channel the kind of content that you guys deliver, for me, it's like, not knocking any of the other influencers, but when I go to them, it is very emotionally driven. But with you guys, it very much is very like, hey, this is what's happening and this is what we're giving you. So I feel like there's and I'm sure like 1.5 million of your followers feel the same way, that there's like a trust that comes with that. You're just like, all right, these people are not trying to sell me something. They're not trying to push an agenda. They're just telling me what the news is and what's happening right now. So I think I love all of that.
Mona,
Yeah,
why
yeah.
would you want to roast the neutral toned crypto YouTubers? Why do you
Because
want to roast us?
I'll tell you why I want to roast you guys. The fact that you guys have an excellent sense of humor, because you have displayed that in the last 2 events. You were at Bitcoin Miami with us, and of course, you guys were on the panel with us. But the Bitcoin Miami really showed me this side of you guys, that you guys can like write jokes. You guys have like this hidden talent of writing roast jokes. Have you guys ever taken a comedy class or done stand up ever, or done an open mic? Have you guys ever done anything like that?
We've taken on-camera acting classes for acting, but part of those classes were, developing our comic side. Not the same thing as stand-up,
Yeah,
but we've always had an affinity for being funny. I mean, back in high school, we used to do like Who's Line type improv type
sure.
things. And actually, when I first got out here pursuing acting full time, I was doing open mics, and never really got past the open mic threshold because, back at that time, I didn't really pursue it as hard after a certain point because I was like, oh, it's so hard to develop like a point of view on the world. I was just like, I was so young. I was like, Bill Burr has all these, opinions. I was like, I need to like, just, I don't know. I just shied away from it at the time, but always had a, big affinity for stand up and
Bill
comedy.
Burr had an opinion in his 20s, I assure you. Have you
I know
seen
that's and
his
that's the
older
difference.
videos?
That's the difference. I was saying like, but even just comparing myself to Bill Burr when he was 45, I was like, man, I need to get more opinions. So, I'm just being honest. I have a great respect for stand-up comedians, but, it's hard for me.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Also, what about you? Did you ever take any open mic classes or anything, or did
N-
any comedy?
Never took an open mic. Never have done stand up professionally. This is all natural.
Oh, I I think what I've always liked ever since I met you guys is how humble Austin is, and I think that's what I've really enjoyed about Austin every single time. What I want to know is, how excited are you guys about this upcoming roast? First of all, were you guys shocked when I approached you about the altcoin roast?
I wasn't shocked. I was ready.
Oh wow.
Was
Wow.
I was manifesting for
You
months.
were you were meditating and manifesting?
Yeah, that's how I get, that's how you get what you want.
Is that
But I think it's going to be a blast. Obviously, we've done roasts with you before,
yes.
and I'm excited. We were at the Gross of Crypto Wendy. That was epic. That was a blast. I'm excited for this one because we have LA comedians that are friends with us that are
That's
on the
right.
panel. So it's going to be personal and it's going to be a blast.
Do,
I love roasts.
yeah.
I love all those Comedy Central roasts. I love the Friars Club roasts back in the day. I wasn't, was I surprised you approached us? Well, I wasn't surprised that people liked our tight 4 minutes back in Bitcoin Miami because, we worked really hard on the tight 4 minutes,
Yeah.
and there's no way you wouldn't be able to like it in my mind at the time because, it's a tight four. And it's, crypto native jokes. So I was pleasantly surprised, Mona. I was appreciative.
Honestly, well, you're welcome, and I'm actually very excited about this. I think you guys, I think what you guys don't understand is that us, like, look, I've been doing comedy for about 14 years now. So when I see someone like yourself who are actors and now became these crypto stars and YouTube stars, I think in terms, I'm just like, oh wow, like let's see if they're going to be able to bring on the chops, because of course, look, listen, writing jokes alone is so difficult, but to write roast jokes, like that's a skill set on its own. So I was like really impressed with you guys, how you guys wrote those jokes out, and you guys, especially like Austin roasted me really well, and I like crack up to that joke to this day. I don't know, we can repeat that joke because it's on TikTok now, but that abortion joke is like one of my favorites ever.
I love it. I have heavy influences from Norm Macdonald, and I'll always give him credit, but that like sardonic, just deadpan sort
Yeah.
of delivery, that's what I like.
Yeah. Are you more of a Norm guy more than any other comic, Austin?
That's Aaron. Aaron's the Norm guy. This guy loves
Really?
Norm Macdonald.
You're the more, and so what are you, Austin?
A little bit of everything. I will say that I love who's my favorite comedian? Now I would say obviously the OGs, Chappelle, all the people that everybody likes. Huge
Jeselnik.
respect.
Yeah.
Love them. Jeselnik, OG. Up and comers, I like Nate Bargatze. I believe that's how you
Yeah.
pronounce his
Mhm.
name.
Yeah.
Tim Dillon is really funny. Andrew
Mhm.
Schultz. I
Yeah.
love his podcast.
Schultz is great. Yeah. Andrew Schultz is awesome. No, I look at something like this, and I guess what I want to ask you guys is, how nervous are you guys about actually getting roasted? Because here you guys, I also want to genuinely know, like, do you guys have like this image of like, just being like this, neutral guys, you guys just go out there and just do your job. And now, roasts are very specific. They get R-rated. We have R-rated jokes that we're doing. And how are you guys feeling about all that?
For YouTube, you need to have a thick skin if you get big because of all these trolls and commenters.
Oh,
However,
I read your comments. I read your comments all the time. Holy hell.
okay, okay.
Your
Well, no,
your
there's a lot
anon
of good ones
account is
too.
commenting.
That's Mona making those comments. But I was going to say, you need to have
Caught
a
me.
thick,
You caught
you need to
me.
have a thick skin for YouTube. But with the comedy roasts, you need to be able to just not take anything personally. Just like let it go, have a good time. That's what it's all about. I want people to, dig into me and dig into crypto because that's what I love about roasts.
Right, right. I mean, I called you guys the poor version of the Winklevoss twins. That was at the comedy, at the Crypto Wendy O roast that I called you guys that. I I feel
Compared to
like
the Winklevosses' early adoption of Bitcoin and how much they have, everybody's the poor version of them.
that's right. I mean, everybody's poor compared to them. Jesus Christ. You guys were just in Mexico City at the Karate Combat. Tell me all about it, because that's another guy that we're working with, who we're going to be roasting also. That's coming up also. And I will reveal that information in due time. But you guys were at Karate Combat and saw BitBoy like whoop some major ass. I want to hear all about this.
Yeah, the Karate Combat in Mexico City was epic event. And so they had the regular fights, the traditional Karate Combat fights first. Then they got into the crypto influencer fights. And every crypto influencer fight got better, in my opinion, leading up to the big BitBoy, Ben Armstrong versus the Sonic, Obama, Harry Potter, Inu meme coin fight. And it was the best fight of the night for sure. And they were just like brawling. And it was electric. They had like mariachi bands coming out between fights and rappers and stuff. And anyway, just an epic event to be at.
Wait, what? Cassius Cuvée there? He's one of the rappers.
I
No?
wish they would have had him there. They had these other two guys, but he would have been great.
Yeah, he's very talented. What about you, Austin? How did you feel about it?
To me, I'm not even a big like fighting guy. I don't regularly watch the
Oh,
UFC.
we already got that. We established that already up top on the.
Oh, okay, perfect. Then we're
Yeah.
all on the same page.
Yeah.
But the electricity and the excitement to me reminded me of just like in high school or middle school when you hear, hey, two of your friends or people you kind of know are fighting by the flagpole after school. You know these people and they're just beating each other up. Obviously, it's going to draw a crowd and it's going to be good. And Karate Combat was awesome.
And by the way,
Yeah.
They approached BitBoy. Ben Armstrong was the main card. They approached us. They were like, hey, we can, we would love if you two would fight. I think, it could be just as big. And we said, no, fighting's not our strength. Wouldn't want to do that to our mom. Our strength is more commentators. But they did approach us to fight. So that could have been gone very differently.
I was just gonna say that. I was like, if they've approached Ben, I bet they've approached you too. But wait a minute, they wanted you guys to fight each other.
They're still trying to get us to fight for next time.
Yeah, they were interested in us fighting in any capacity, but certainly us fighting each other was the original idea they floated to us. And why wouldn't that be exciting?
You guys are like Switzerland and Sweden to me. Switzerland and Sweden don't fight. Like, they just don't.
My strength is, through the words. It's not through fighting. I said, hey, if you're interested in a commentator, totally be down, but
I thought you were going to be like, my strength is chocolates and cologne, just the way Switzerland and Sweden is known for. But
that's what you like, Mona.
That's what I thought Switzerland was known for, the chocolates. What
that's
are
true.
Are you interested? So wait a minute. So if they approach you and say, hey, we have another influencer, would either one of you go and fight one of those influencers? Would you guys do that?
No, because I would lose opportunity. I have much more fun making crypto content. I love Mona Orange Theory. I love going to yoga. Those are the physical activities I like. And I like being at the fights, but I'd rather watch other people fight. I'd rather instigate or watch.
Yeah.
The only way we do it is if we're not like, they were right to approach us and say, hey, like you guys could be like the main card or get like main card money. They were right to approach us that way because that's the only way we'd even consider it. But ultimately, like I said, not our strength. I'm focusing on my strengths.
Right.
Yet, everyone has a price.
Everyone has a price. Wait, so are these folks getting paid? Is Ben Armstrong getting paid for this fight?
I mean, Ben Armstrong and I assume the other guy got the most money, and then there was like a drop off between like the payment for the fighters. So yeah, the main card got the most money.
Right. Because they're the main fight. I mean, I saw some of the videos of Ben, and I was like, oh my God, Ben is going. Like, Ben was nonstop, man. He was like a machine, and he looks great. He got in shape and everything.
You were into him.
I was into, like, oh my God, like how much work went into this, because I saw his progress. I've been watching him like train and all that, and I was like, wow, Ben has like really transformed a great deal. I mean, he's been going through a lot in his personal life too, just like all the stuff that's been happening, but it was really great to see him transform and put in the work and then go win the fight. And I was like, man, this is some like badass stuff. I love all of this. I wanted to actually ask you guys, with everything that's happening right now, I mean, first of all, we hit 60,000, right? With Bitcoin. Whoa. I see the B in the back there, man. Aaron, I see it, man. I see the love. I see it. I love all of it. How are you guys feeling about, do you guys feel like this bull run is going to be unlike any bull run that we've had thus far?
I think we can objectively say that this bull run is going to be unlike any other bull run we've had this far. And it's kind of a meme in traditional finance and crypto to say this time's different, because there's always going to be, up times and down times. But, from an adoption fundamental standpoint, this time is very different. Wall Street has bought in. You can no longer beat Wall Street to Bitcoin. You had, 11, 12 years to do that. And, now Wall Street's, buying up more Bitcoin than is getting, put on the open market. For Bitcoin's first 10, 11, 12 years, all the way up until 2020, more Bitcoin was, flowing into exchanges every year. After 2020, we had 3 million Bitcoin on exchanges only. That was 4 years ago. Today, we have 2 million Bitcoin on exchanges only. Right now, taking supply off the market is outpacing the Bitcoin getting mined on the open market, putting, supply back on the market. And so you got to think, in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, there's only going to be 1 million Bitcoin on exchanges. And probably sometime if you drink the Kool-Aid like we have, there's not enough Bitcoin to go
Hey
around.
man, I got orange pilled during the pandemic. That's when I got orange pilled. My neighbor introduced me to it. And then he ended up selling all his Bitcoin. And I was like, why did you sell your Bitcoin? And he was like, don't even get me started. I'm so upset. And he was like, I was just talking to him yesterday. I'm like, hey man, are you gonna like go and buy some more Bitcoin, some crypto? He was like, yes, I'm putting away my 10K. I'm buying my Bitcoin. So I was like, how are you gonna get me into it and then end up selling your entire, Bitcoin? I mean, look, your channel is called Altcoin Daily. So, was that kind of like the intention of the channel to be like, hey, we're going to talk about everything, but we're not going to call ourselves the Bitcoin Daily. We're going to call ourselves the Altcoin Daily. So that lets us cover all of the crypto.
You exactly summed it up. The intention was always to talk about the whole market.
Yeah.
Named it Altcoin Daily. At the time, I was influenced by this channel I watched back then, Altcoin Buzz, still around today, different management now.
Yeah.
But I named it Altcoin Daily because, we have a, there's so many crypto content creators, podcasters who think this is what I'm going to talk about it. And if you don't like it, you're either dumb or ignorant or whatever. That's not how I saw it. I said, hey, what is if, 99, 95% of people still need to come into crypto? Let's meet them where they're at. And I happen to know that
Yeah.
people want to find out about altcoins. This is a channel people can subscribe to. This is a channel people would be interested in subscribing to. And, our intention was always to speak to the everyman.
Right, right. I mean, honestly, like every time I go to your channel, every time I watch your videos, it just feels very much like, hey, we're just here to give you information. This is for everybody. And I think that really is, I would say goes to the success of what you guys have, which is totally well deserved. Yeah.
And so many people, especially in bull markets, come up to us at meetups or whatever and go, thank you, man. You've made us so much money, showing us their $1 million portfolios, like tons of people. And I love that. But like you said, we're just giving you information. Ultimately, you have to make your own decision. And I tell people, man, really happy for you. I don't
Yeah.
want credit for your losses though. So, but like very happy that you used
For
our
your
channel as
wins, you can
something else.
come to me. For your losses, you're on your own.
Yeah.
You guys talk to, and I want to ask both of you this, and Austin, when you guys talk to folks like Michael Saylor and Mark Cuban, right? First of all, when you get the email that confirms them, are there like butterflies that are in your tummy? You're like, oh my God, we are going to interview Mark Cuban. Oh my God, we're going to talk to Bitcoin Jesus, Michael Saylor. What happens to you guys? And do you guys get nervous when you talk to them? Like, do you try to like prepare questions ahead of time? Or do you guys kind of have a rough idea what you're going to talk about? Like, how is that for you guys?
We always prepare questions ahead of time. But just Mark Cuban specifically, that was like almost a 12 month courting of trying to
Oh,
get
wow.
Mark Cuban on the channel, just because we just played email tag for so long, and he'd always be like, okay, ask me in 2 weeks after, or in a month after I'm done filming this season of Shark Tank. And he's like, oh, basketball season's about to start, hit me up in another month. And so it went back and forth. And so there was butterflies in my stomach up until he actually showed. And that's always a question in my mind. Are these notable people going to show? We've had Gene Simmons, Spike Lee, Michael Saylor, and Michael Saylor's been on multiple times, friend of the
That's true.
channel.
He is.
But until they actually show, you never know.
Yeah, Mark Cuban was a, huge white whale for us. When we were kids in high school, we used to watch Shark Tank and like really, helped shape our, just the way we thought of entrepreneurship and building a business. So, and, to have
Sorry,
Mark
when you
Cuban,
say school, you're talking about college, correct?
no, in high school, we used to, I don't know when it started. I think it
Shark
started.
Right.
Tank started in 2009.
That's right. That's right.
Uh,
No, I'm just looking at
okay.
our age gap. So no, no. So go ahead.
So we
Sorry.
were in high school, or we were in college. Okay, so back in college, we used to watch Shark Tank and Mark Cuban and the whole cast all the time, and hugely shaped, how we thought of entrepreneurship and just, inspiring us to, partly to start this channel and, live our lives today. So
Yeah.
getting Mark Cuban on was a, awesome, awesome experience. Definitely a milestone, a personal milestone with, and we've had plenty of, great guests on with Michael Saylor. The first time we had Michael Saylor on, we thought, oh, This was back in 2021, I think. I think we were thinking we're going to ask him about Bitcoin, of course, but he talks about Bitcoin nonstop and he's great at it. Let's ask him specific questions about altcoins. You know, he's a tech guy, MicroStrategy tech company. Let's ask him from a tech perspective what he thinks about Cardano. Let's ask him what he thinks about Ethereum. Now, with that interview, it was kind of he just always pivoted back to Bitcoin, and there was a little bit of tension, and things went fine, but we didn't get the answers we were looking for. He kept pivoting back to Bitcoin. It was fine. The next time we had him on, it was like, let's just all about Bitcoin, and it was a wonderful conversation. And so, we're learning things too,
Right, for sure. I mean, gosh, I call him Bitcoin Jesus for a reason, which is because he's just such a huge advocate of Bitcoin. Honestly, I really learned a great deal about commodities and securities listening to Michael Saylor. Like, he really breaks it down for you why Bitcoin is a commodity and not a security. And he really goes into the depth, and you truly understand it. You're like, oh my God. Also, the difference between how people think Bitcoin is crypto. Bitcoin is not crypto. Bitcoin is Bitcoin and crypto is crypto. Like, those are two separate. Do you guys agree with that statement?
I know what you mean when you say that, but I think that's oversimplifying it. It could even be confusing to new people. It's important for Bitcoin only type people to say Bitcoin is different from crypto because Bitcoin is, way more decentralized and distributed and neutral compared to a lot of different cryptos. That's true. I understand what they're trying to say, but Bitcoin is, cryptography. I mean, it's like a square rectangle type thing. Crypto isn't Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is still crypto.
Crypto isn't Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is still crypto. What do you think, Austin?
I agree with essentially what you're saying, just the framing of it, saying Bitcoin is not crypto, Bitcoin is the first crypto. But in terms of a fundamental nature, it's totally different than the altcoins who have CEOs. Most of them have foundations. Bitcoin had this, growth, natural conception, whatever you call it. So Bitcoin's different than crypto, but it's all in the crypto bucket.
We had an influencer at our San Francisco event that we did in January. And she made a statement that really made me think about the decentralized world. And she said, she's like, things are not truly decentralized if you think about them. They're not, what is really decentralized? And it really got me thinking. And I was like, okay, how much truth is actually in that statement? Do you guys feel like we have like something like Bitcoin is truly decentralized? Do you guys believe that?
That's a nuanced question. Is Bitcoin decentralized? I'd say yes. Is throughout the crypto spectrum, decentralization is important to crypto people, and throughout the crypto market industry, there's varying degrees of decentralization. Bitcoin had so many years to really distribute itself before it got on anybody's, radar. And as far as like Gini coefficient, who are the coins, the supply, like centralized in one area, or is the Gini coefficient better where they're distributed? Bitcoin has a good Gini coefficient compared to crypto, bad Gini coefficient compared to like gold, I guess. But like being open, distributed, decentralized, and fair, I think that's what's important in crypto, and all cryptos have that to some degree, and that is the revolution.
Right. Austin.
Set the question up again.
I was talking about do we have anything that's truly decentralized, whether it's Bitcoin or another crypto? Like, is it truly decentralized?
I honestly, a text just came up, so I didn't hear what Aaron just said, but so hopefully this is not the same thing.
I hope it's
I
a
think,
Tinder date.
hey, we don't know. We don't know. I plan to meet my Tinder date at this Web3 as a joke roast event.
Oh wow! So we're getting a few of the ladies showing up just to watch you.
I'm not. It doesn't have to happen. I'm just saying I'm open. I'm open.
Got it. Got it. I'll put that in the advertisements that we're gonna put out there.
Thank you.
P.S. Austin's looking for a Tinder date.
Most eligible bachelor in crypto right now.
Wow. Wow. You have a great twin brother. Look at him just selling you, just pimping you out there right now. Congratulations, Aaron. That's wonderful.
Aaron, I love you, bro.
Love you too.
I don't think you guys say that enough to each other. I feel like I brought that out right now.
At least once a bull market, we try and say I love you.
Just every once a bull market. That's entirely fair. Did you want me to repeat the question for you, Austin?
I think everything is a degree of centralization. I think Bitcoin is the most decentralized commodity that we've ever had. Just because Bitcoin could always be more decentralized. Obviously, you could say the miners have a degree of centralization. There's, 8 to 10 to 12, whatever it is, mining pools that are really huge. But I think Bitcoin's decentralized in three ways: the mining, the nodes, and the developers all around the world. I think often with altcoins, it's one developer company leading the charge. It's IOHK with Cardano. Yes, I know developers are all over the world, but usually whatever Vitalik or Charles Hoskinson says, the developers tend to fall in line with their leader. I'm not saying that's bad. Cardano is much more decentralized than a Google or an Amazon or a traditional company. So everything's a degree, but Bitcoin's the most decentralized we've got.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing about Web3 is about, data ownership, right? Like, how do you get to keep your own data? How do you get to put a price on your own data? Like you people like you and I, we're content creators, right? We are the creatives. We put our content out there. Like when you put your content out there on YouTube and have all these millions of followers and stuff, right? But YouTube is still in charge of your content. They're still in charge of what you get compensated. They're still in charge of what I get compensated. So do you feel like, I'm sure there's some genius out there that's coming up with a DApp version of YouTube right now, or DApp version of TikTok and Instagram and all these guys. What happens? Like, you guys are so deep into the Web3 space. You guys are so deep into this world. What happens to, when you guys decide to move to this DApp? Like, you can't take this data with you. You can't take all these followers there with you. So how would something like that work? I'm fascinated by that.
Here's the thing. Let's talk about our journey. We started out in acting and filmmaking, a lot of gatekeepers, a lot of centralization in that world. We moved into content creation on YouTube. Compared to Hollywood, no gatekeepers. We can get out as much as we put into it. Yet still, YouTube, TikTok has plenty of problems with you don't control your own data. There is censorship. In the future sometime, and there's a lot of people who try it, but this is another reason why Bitcoin and Ethereum and different crypto assets are so successful, because they have network effects that continue to suck you in and give you benefit for being a part of it. And to be honest with you, there's tons of Web3 type YouTube, TikTok competitors, but they don't have the network effect. And oftentimes these companies are trying to, bring us on to help spur the network effect. But that's a really hard thing to kind of get past. Eventually, YouTube will be upended. Eventually, Twitter, TikTok will be upended. There's going to be a Web3 version, one that actually works, where it's more private. You are in more control of your data. And here's the thing, for the folks at home, in the Web2 world, the Facebook world, there's been alternatives that are more private, but people still choose the Facebooks. People still choose the ones with better UX, UI. And so people think to themselves, well, are you sure in the future people are going to choose these Web3 alternatives? I'll tell you why they will. Because there's one thing that people like more than good UX, UI. And Bitcoin's first 10 years is a testament to this, crypto's first 10 years. The one thing people like better than UX, UI, good UX, UI, is money in their pocket. Right. And crypto had awful UX, UI for years, still does in some ways, but people are into it because people want to make money. So the social media platforms that say, hey, we're not going to sell your data. You can opt into certain things where if we do sell your data, you can be making money or something like that. That's what people are going to choose. That's how the network effect is really going to blow up, because that's, people would be into that.
Right. You're talking about having you're talking about these dApps having a particular smart contract that has the language in it that says like, hey, for every person you bring on, you get X amount of crypto or whatever. Or X.
I'm talking about smart contracts like that in an open, verifiable, blockchain-based setting where you no longer have to rely on the Q1, Q2, Q3 quarterly reports. Then, oh, I found out after the fact what they're doing. Now anybody can check it on chain and it's verifiably fair.
Right. Right. What do you think, Austin?
To me,
is there another text that came through? I don't want to take you away.
Nope. Now I'm looking at just a shelf.
He's Googling it.
Yeah. I think what Aaron just said is correct, but it's also not enough because there are companies now that are trying stuff like this basic attention token. a handful of different decentralized social medias in crypto, and they're good, and the promise of what they will deliver is good. But the one thing that YouTube and TikTok have that is the reason, in my opinion, content creators are on there is the discovery. So YouTube, it's free marketing. If you make a great video, that algorithm is going to blast that out. That's why the masses show up. That's where the masses are. My brother and I are interested in speaking to the masses. So that's why we're on YouTube. And really, we have no plans. We're open to it, but no plans to ever switch it up or move our audience to a decentralized platform until it makes sense
Right.
that they have the discovery.
Right. Right. I mean, I feel like I feel like that's out at least like 5 to 10 years. Don't you guys feel that way? Is it 5 years? 10 years might be a little much, but 5 years or so, maybe.
If
I'd
any
say
of us knew the future, we'd all be rich.
7.5.
7.5. Okay, awesome. Awesome. I mean, I'm looking at my portfolio. I'm very happy with what's happening with the bull run and, having invested in a bunch of different altcoins as well. I oftentimes, and I would love to hear from you guys because you guys have a crypto channel. Do you guys get overwhelmed by the amount of altcoins that are out there to track them? Like I go on crypto.com and I get overwhelmed. I'm like, wow, that's a lot. That's a lot to go and research and dig through. And what is it that they're doing? What's the market cap? Right? Just like researching all of that. I feel like there is so much education that's happening right now that hasn't taken maybe before. Like people are interested in crypto and learning about how crypto money works versus the traditional money, how it, has taken place for hundreds of years. Do you feel with all the education that's taking place and everything that's happening, do you feel like people are pretty well versed who are in this space of as to where to go and invest, like which altcoins, and they're not like, oh my god, I don't know what the hell this is, I'll just go, because so and so influencer is talking about X crypto, will go and invest in it?
I mean, I don't know. In the stock market, could you say the experts are well versed in everything they say? I don't think so. And I
Well,
think
Jim
even
Cramer needs to shut up because Jim
Jim
Cramer
Cramer,
is just annoying. He's just annoying.
We
Jim,
love him on the dais.
We
yeah,
love him on the dais. Yes, yeah. He kind of reminds me a little bit of Gary Gensler-ish. He has a little Gary Gensler-ish thing going on there.
he's TradFi. But even in the stock market, the experts don't even know everything, i.e., Jim Cramer. And so in crypto, things are changing so much year after year. Quality protocols created this year weren't around 2 years ago. In the beginning, it was only Bitcoin. And now, we have different verticals of crypto blowing up. Decentralized physical infrastructure, decentralized finance, NFTs, gaming, whatever it is.
Yep.
I think anybody right now, if they really doubled, tripled down on learning and wanted to become an expert in crypto and get a huge edge, anybody could do that. And they could probably, benefit their life orders of magnitude going forward. I think, part of the reason we're successful is because we give people a little edge when it comes to information. We'll break it down for you. These are the top DePIN projects. These are the top gaming projects. This is what you need to know. This is an aggregated news for today, and we'll give you that edge. So in 10 minutes, you can know much more than any Joe Schmo on the street.
Right, right. The roast. I know we're gonna wrap up soon, but I do want to talk about the roast, switching gears a little bit. Have you guys already started working on your jokes?
I haven't. I do plan to maybe use 2 or 3 of my best ofs that I did at the last roast, but obviously we have a whole new dais. Got to write whole new jokes.
There are no repeats here, Austin. We're going brand new jokes here.
Oh, I'm sorry that a comedian has to write a whole new set for every crowd that they work with. Oh no, wait, they use the same set and they get it so it's really good.
The roast, sir. I'm sorry. I think you might be confusing regular stand-up with roast jokes. You can't repeat roast jokes, sir.
We'll see. We'll see. But Aaron and I never claimed to be comedians, but I do plan to write a tight 5 to 7 minute set. And
you guys are doing 10 each, you know that, right?
Usually with those roasts, you're roasting one person. Do you want to just take 20 minutes at the end? If that's what you want.
We want 10 minutes each. I want to hear both of your jokes and how you see us and how you see the world.
Every time we've done this with Mona, we're constantly telling her less minutes. We'll do a very tight less minute. She's constantly, well, how about a little more? How about a little more?
I mean, that's how you grow though, right? That's how you grow. When you go to the gym, I mean, Austin was a trainer. What did you tell your clients? Hey, just like 2 more reps, right? 3 more reps. That's how you grow your muscles. That's how that works.
I said, hey, it's actually time to re-sign. We're out of sessions. Oh no, 2 more reps.
That
As
was
far
I thought you
as
were
far,
just gonna be like, I told them let's have Twinkies and just
No way, no way. I worked for
let's go in and
them.
out. I don't know.
Hell no.
I've began the process of writing a few jokes. I mean, that's the fun of it. I think crafting the jokes and, getting ready to, share it and, give people the switch up when you're performing. So I've began the process, nowhere near finished, but, that's the fun part, writing the jokes.
And is your girlfriend helping you out with that?
Not directly. She's not. I mean, I'm sure I'll like when I get like farther down the line, what I like to do is just run it by everybody. It's, early Kanye running his raps by everybody, even though nobody cared back in the day, and just be like, hey, you think this is funny? Should I switch this here? So I'm sure as we get further, I'm going to be running these jokes by a lot of my close confidants.
I love how you casually just compared yourself to Kanye there, and I
I'm
appreciate that.
I'm a big Kanye fan, not his music or anything, just his worldviews. No, I'm just kidding. It's the music.
For me, it's strictly the world views. Actually, I
Yeah,
just he's the altcoin daily of world for me, so that's what I listen to. Right,
that's awesome.
very very neutral perspectives he has on things. So
For sure.
I really enjoy that about Kanye. Guys, is this the first time anyone has ever done a roast of you guys?
Yeah,
Aaron's been a part of many roasts, but this is the first time we're the main people on the dais.
Oh,
yeah,
awesome, awesome.
like college roasts. I often volunteer myself, and I was a big fan of Anthony Jeselnik back then with his first Shakespeare album, and so I was crafting my jokes kind of like that. Anthony's super dry, and it takes like a skilled comedian even to deliver those dry lines. And I remember sharing my jokes with some of my fraternity brothers back in the day, and this
Yeah.
one guy, Dave Thomas, is like, "Have you considered, Aaron, that nobody was going to laugh at this?" And I was like, "I don't know," but yeah, always
Wait,
enjoyed it.
did they not laugh at it? What happened to your jokes?
Well, just because they were so, um, Sandy
Dark.
Hook.
They were so dark
Yeah,
and 10% funny.
Sandy Hook shooting was a big tragedy then,
Oh
and
wow.
so I really went for
Yeah.
some of the dark jokes.
That's a tough one. Man, people like even when September 11th happened, even 10 years after September 11th, if a comedian made a joke about it, like they got in trouble. It was just like it's been a while. Like don't we kind of get a break on that just a little bit?
But I think there should be a break for comedians because that's what comedians are supposed to do. And like some comedians, Dave Chappelle, Justin Leck, they stay on the right side of that line, never getting in trouble. I remember during the big shooting, it wasn't Sandy Hook, it was the one in the theater where the guy dressed up as Batman for the Dark Knight and shot up a theater in Texas, I
Yes,
think, or whatever it was.
yes,
And that was the premiere of The Dark Knight, big
that's
movie
right.
everybody was looking forward to. And Anthony Jeselnik like tweeted out at the time, and I saw this tweet as soon as he tweeted it live. He was like, "Other than that, how was the movie?" And so it's like it's just so
Well,
funny.
I don't know if you guys remember, but I believe was it Dane Cook? Please don't quote me on it. I forget who was the comedian when the shooting took place, and they made a joke. They made a joke about like sitting there watching the movie and be like, "Ugh, would somebody shoot me?" And then the shooter walked in and started shooting the place up. And I forget who it was, and you know what? I mean, it's so sad and it's so tragic, and it just happens so often in America now that it's just so part of our everyday conversation that we've almost like become desensitized to the whole thing, which is so disturbing. Like we should never be desensitized to something like that, which is god awful, right? I mean, when you guys were growing up in Ohio, right? What like it just sounds to me you guys grew up in a pretty kind of like a simple living, nothing complex sort of thing. Because you guys are like the opposite of what my childhood was. My childhood was just chaos, right? I just most comedians come from chaos. That's why we end up in comedy because that's the only way we can kind of find some kind of relief for our mental health. So you guys come from. Have your parents? You guys are only just twins, right? You guys don't have any other siblings. It's just the two of you guys.
Correct.
And growing up, like I know Austin, you were 5 minutes older than Aaron, correct?
I think everybody can tell.
Everybody, oh, all right,
I'm
okay,
starting it. Zing zing.
okay, all right. I see it. All right, a little bit, I see it,
We
but
just lost some. We just lost some people. They're selling their tickets.
lost some people. Well, yeah, it's fine. They'll come back. Don't worry.
Okay.
Don't worry. We'll tell them Aaron's beauty regimen. How does he stay 5 minutes younger than you? How does he manage to keep that? Yeah, yeah. But when you guys were growing up, like your childhood, was it more just kind of neutral? Like your parents were just like these loving, cool, awesome people who were like, go out and achieve your dreams. Because my parents were like, don't achieve your dreams. I have dreams for you. Don't worry, your thoughts don't count. So how was it for you guys?
And that's why you're much funnier than us.
No,
Because
it's a mental health or funny. You choose, right?
our parents are, still together. They could not have been more supportive.
Wow.
We lived, in the suburbs of Ohio. So generally speaking, I always say Aaron and I, you're super lucky. Like our
Yeah.
parents were awesome. And that's why we're not comedians.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
there's
they're actors though, so that's interesting.
exactly. There's not many parents who would, encourage their kids to pursue acting in high school and everything. So,
Yeah.
they're always very supportive. Love you, mom.
Oh, that's so sweet. That's really, really sweet. So now with with having this lovely childhood that you guys had, I mean, look, you guys might be the only people I know actually, or maybe the second people that I know that actually had a really balanced, loving childhood. My childhood, I was born and raised in Pakistan, right? I moved to New York when I was 15 years old. And, the reason that our family moved to the US is because my mom's cousin, my uncle, was running for politics in Pakistan. And, Pakistani politics or politics in that part of the world, it's dangerous, right? You get killed in the process, which my uncle did eventually. He did get assassinated. But when he was running for that seat, my father and my mom were huge supporters. And so we would go to rallies as a kid. I remember going to rallies, and we started getting death threats at home. And that's why my mom freaked out. My parents freaked out and they were like, we got to get the kids out of here. So I have 4 older brothers. I'm the youngest and the only girl in the family. And my parents were like, we got to get you kids out of here. So that's how we came to the US. So, and then of course, there was a whole drama that unleashed itself when we got here because we lived in like this 1 bedroom basement apartment in Jersey City. So when I see you guys give me hope that there are, healthy people out there, and you guys make me believe in humanity at some level.
That was wholesome. Thank you.
No, you're welcome. That might be the only wholesome thing I've ever said in my life, actually. So, because I've just never met 2 nice guys from Ohio who've had a lovely childhood. Like, that's amazing to me.
Clip
Hey,
this. Clip this.
growing up in Ohio isn't all peaches and cream. It's tough on those streets.
Oh, really? Let's hear the mean streets of what was the town you grew up in?
Chardon, Ohio. Dan, we just put the
Okay.
town on the map by mentioning it. But
What's
like
that? Not Chardonnay, not Chardonnay, Ohio. Chardon, Ohio.
hey, you grew up in the war-torn country of Pakistan, a childhood that had tons of chaos. I remember one Halloween, some of our, friends or classmates, TP'd our house as a joke. So that was hard.
That's devastating.
Yeah, when it rained, it all disappeared and we didn't really have to clean it up.
God, that's like way more devastating than my uncle getting assassinated. Way more
I think
devastating.
I can't really tell what's worse.
I I can't tell what's worse. Are you kidding me? Now you like sent me in a frenzy right now. I'm just like, I don't even know, TP or my uncle getting assassinated. I can't even tell.
Just kidding.
I don't even know. I don't
I
even
would
know.
love to let the comment section down below. I would love to hear their opinion.
Yes, that's I honestly sometimes I go and read your comments on your videos, and people make these like people post like people just want to fight, man. People just want to like you could be talking about puppies are awesome and cuddly, and people are like puppies are not awesome and cuddly. They're awful. They take up all your food and they take up all your money, and you're like, dude, we're just talking about puppies. When you guys had your channel, when you guys started and started getting popular, was it weird to not respond back? Because you guys do have this comedic instinct. So did you guys not have this need to be like, I want to like, you know, look, give a little zinger back?
That's a losing battle when you get into it with the trolls. So I always thought I'm not getting into it with anybody commenting on my video in that way. Now, in the beginning, we used to respond to pretty much every comment in the beginning just because we wanted to facilitate a good relationship with our audience.
For sure.
Eventually, it got way too much to respond to every comment. But also in the beginning, it was hard sometimes just seeing a mean, derogatory comment.
Oh,
Even though most, hundreds of thousands of people watching don't comment, and you just have a small minority actually commenting, you just see one or two bad comments, and in the beginning, it would affect me. So, you do need to have a tough, thick skin.
yeah.
And yeah, but you know what? You if you want to be big, if you want to be great, you're gonna have haters. And it's really no big deal. Most people enjoy it.
I love it. Austin, how do you handle this?
Well, I recall, like, especially at the beginning, we would always talk about, the top 10 coins, top 20 coins. That's what the most people cared about. And then I'd see comments saying, oh, you guys always talk about the same thing. Anything new? And so I was like, okay, let's talk about some other coins. Then I'd see comments, shilling again. Why are we hearing this new stuff? So you can't please everybody. You just got to do what's true to you and what you're interested in. And hopefully the audience follows along.
Right. I agree. I 100% agree. Um, I would love to know your friends who we do have on we have, by the way, we have a pretty solid lineup for your roast. So we have this roast battler by the name of Elise Golgowski. She's amazing. If you look her up, she's amazing. Morgan Anderson is another roast battler comic. She's won like a whole bunch of different roast battles. And of course, we have Sean Fawaz on.
Sean,
I don't know that Sean and Fawaz went together until I saw his name.
Sean Fawaz, in my opinion, is a younger version of an Andrew Schultz.
Oh,
That's
interesting.
in terms of obviously a lot newer, but he's been in comedy for a long time now. I remember seeing him live like 2 years ago, and then I saw him live, a year before that, and just the amount of growth and how much he was into it, I was like, damn, dude, you're coming along. And that was 2 years ago, and he's a personal friend. So I think that I'm excited for this roast because my favorite Comedy Central roast is when they roasted James Franco. And James Franco just got all his friends on the dais that just put personal zings against him.
Right.
So I think this is going to be the best.
I agree. Aaron, how excited are you about this dais?
I'm really happy to hear that you got so many heavy hitters with the dais, and also very happy to hear that our buddy Sean is going to be a part of it. We've known Sean for some time. We knew him originally. We were just in acting class together back in the day when we were in our 20s, and man, I don't know. He just has a great sense of humor. He started going full-time stand-up comedy right before the COVID lockdowns hit. And he used to be on our Hollywood podcast, and he was like, I'm just about to start full-time. And then the lockdowns hit, and he couldn't do it for like 6 months, 9 months. And I was like, dude, are you really taking this career seriously? You're not doing it. He's like, dude, I'm physically not able. But then even like farther back, this is just like some random thing I remember. He had been dating this girl for years and years, and we didn't really know her that much, but we knew he was in a long-term relationship. But one time before Christmas, he comes and says, guys, I'm engaged. Guys, I'm engaged. And
What?
everybody was really happy for him. And then after Christmas, we had a week off, and then came back to the class, and we're like, dude, what's the news on the wedding? He's like, we broke up, dude. It didn't go well. I was like, oh, okay, sorry.
Man, the pandemic was really a telling point for a lot of people. A lot of relationships either really got stronger or just fell apart during the pandemic. So sadly, I'm sad, but I'm sure I hope Sean has roast jokes for his ex-fiance.
And this was pre-pandemic, but also that's when he became a comedian. So hell of an origin story.
Hell of an origin story. Gentlemen, I am very excited about Thursday, April 11th, 6 p.m. It's going to be at the Expert Dojo. You guys have been to the venue, haven't you?
Awesome venue. It's like a young, hip vibe. Perfect for jokes.
Yeah, fantastic. I've known the owner, Brian, for gosh, almost 8 years now, 8, 9 years. I've known Brian a long, long time. So, when I went and pitched him the idea, he loved it. And he was like, yes, let's do it. I love these guys. I love the concept. So I'm super duper excited. So you guys can also, if you guys want to go and buy your tickets, you can. We're doing a 2-for-1 deal right now, just till March 8th, because you guys are twins. So we wanted to keep it you know, in theme of that, like 2-for-1. So the 2-for-1 deal is running till March 8th. And you can go to web3isajoke.io. We are also on Eventbrite and of course on Luma, and you guys can check this out. Gentlemen, any parting words? This has been a lot of fun. Thank you very much for joining me today.
I would say the two biggest things happening in April in this order: the roast of Altcoin Daily and the Bitcoin halving. Be
Yes.
there.
Yes. What an ideal time to be doing it. The halving is expected on April 15th.
I think 20th now, but it's always changing, but around there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say, guys, get your ticket to this event. We've been to many of Mona's Web3 is a joke type things. And, you know, it's a great, you know, chance just for you to like mingle with us before and after the show, hang out. It's really an awesome thing to be a part of. And I've met a lot of people at these events, some people I followed and, you know, some people I still talk to, and just all around, you know, just people, it was cool meeting them once and it was an awesome time.
Well, thank you. Thank you, guys. This has been so much fun. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'm really looking forward to our roast.
Me too.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.